another edition of Triple Double Sports Talk Show. We got some good stuff for y'all this week. Some big news, some good football talk, some good basketball talk. Giannis just re-signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. I know Sean got some good stuff on that this week. Man, how you feeling today, Sean?
I'm feeling good, man.
Man, that's good. Let's dive in. I'm about to kill him this week, y'all, so I hope y'all buckle y'all seatbelts and get ready for this wonderful show. I want to dive right into that Giannis topic, man, because Giannis just re-signed with the Bucks. You know, he has the biggest contract of all time, you know, and I wanted to know, Sean, how you feel about Giannis re-signing with the Bucks, man? What's your input on that?
Actually, I don't like it. I don't like the sign. I never did like the sign. I was definitely against the sign. So, in my opinion, I wish he went somewhere else, more like, you know, the Miami Heat or Portland. You know, I feel like those two teams would be great for Giannis. You know, as it pertains to him, you know, winning a championship. I feel like he can't win a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks, and I just don't see it happening.
Sean, listen, every week you come here and you bring up Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. I'm tired of hearing about him. You know, Triple Double Sports Talk Show ain't based around no dang on Damian Lillard mouth. Our fans don't want to hear about no Damian Lillard, because I know I don't. And every week you seem to bring up Damian Lillard, and I'm tired of hearing about him. He wouldn't fit in Portland. I don't care about him going to Portland. I don't care about what you got to say about Portland. Giannis is epic, man. You know, he's one of a kind. He's box office. You got to go buy a ticket to see Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know, one of the best players in the NBA, back-to-back MVPs, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. He's young. He's only 26 years old. He just turned 26 a few weeks ago at that, going into this season. So I think Giannis is great. You know, I know he got the biggest contract at $228.2 million, signed for 5 more years to stay there in Milwaukee. No, he might not, you know, win a championship, but if they bring the perfect pieces, they got Jrue Holiday, which I like Jrue Holiday better than Eric Bledsoe. Jrue Holiday can play both sides of the ball. He's a great floor general, great leader. You know, he didn't add any more better pieces, but he got the shooter in Kyle Korver. He still got big Brook Lopez, who's a shooter. He needs to bang in the paint a little more. He got some pieces, Sean. So I feel like him re-signing with the Milwaukee Bucks is not as bad as you say it is. You just want Damian Lillard to have everybody on his team and everybody to team up with him so he can be number one in the West, so you can make your case that stupid case that you made last week of Portland being number one in the 2021 NBA season. So now you want him to have all these pieces. Man, come on, cut it out, Sean.
I just feel like when it comes to Giannis, nobody never knocked the pieces that he had. Nobody never said he didn't have pieces. He had some great contributions. But more than anything, will they win a chip? You know, and they will not win a chip with that team. You still have the Nets in the next 4 or 5 years. You still have Philadelphia in the next 4 or 5 years. So I feel like, and not only that, Philadelphia is also trying to make a move for James Harden, which I really hopes get done. And so if that happens, his chances of winning and going to a championship finals is very slim. So I just don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. And the fact that I would love for him to be with Damian Lillard, because he really needs a great true point guard in Damian Lillard as well. You know, that's just what I feel.
Sean Teasy, I just gotta ask you this. What's your love for Philly and Portland? You just love you some Philadelphia like you was born and raised there. You love Damian Lillard like that's your twin brother. Can you please explain to me what's your thing with them? I love Philly. I like Philly. I like Embiid. I still root for him. People have counted him out. I still root for Embiid. But what's your thing with them? He's good on the East. You know, we don't know how great Kevin Durant is getting ready to be. We just don't know. So you can just hold that statement. He had a couple good nights in the preseason, but let's hold that statement. Let's wait for the season.
And a great night tonight.
Oh my God. Good nights, great games, I'm not gonna lie. But can we just hold it until the NBA season gets rolling a few weeks in, and then let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, and let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, because remember, they got them new pieces, but Sean, they still got to find their gel, man. They still got to see if they got chemistry together. We don't know if they're going to have chemistry with these new pieces.
We don't know, and so the fact is, when it comes to me, I just don't see them winning the championship with those pieces. If Damian Lillard had a superstar in Giannis, somebody who's going to be in this league for years, I just look at it as a great move to make. Damian Lillard needs he needs a power forward in Giannis, and then not only that, Giannis needs a great point guard in Damian Lillard, somebody who can pull up from 40. Because if Damian Lillard is pulling up from 40 and they guard in the outside tight, I mean, when it comes to the inside, Giannis can go back to doing his thing. So I just feel like it'll be just a match made in heaven just to see those two players come together.
The reason I don't like that statement is because Chauncey Billups was a floor general. He led the 2004 Detroit Pistons to the NBA Finals and did it. Drew Holiday is a floor general just like that. Giannis don't need nobody that can pull up from
Is
four.
Drew Holiday past his prime?
He don't need
Absolutely.
nobody
Absolutely.
that can pull up from 40. Is Rondo past his prime? Absolutely. He just helped LeBron win a championship last year.
I know,
Without
but Rondo is a
the
vet. Rondo is a vet in this league who everybody can actually learn from. You would want to learn from Rondo. You would want to hear his intake on the game. He's a marksman. But when it comes to Drew Holiday, what? I don't see that being a great perfect mesh. I just don't see it.
If you talk to any NBA player, I've watched all type of interviews. I've seen all of these great sports player talk. They all mention Drew Holiday as an underrated player, as an underrated
He's been
marksman.
underrated for years.
Yes,
I get
most
that.
definitely. They say he's a great teammate. He's a great floor general. He knows the game. So he's a vet as well. He might not be a vet because he the vet of a stature as Rondo, because Rondo has a championship with the Boston Celtics, which he had Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen, one of the best big threes that was ever formed in the coach of Doc Rivers. Then he just teamed up with LeBron James, arguably the greatest basketball player to ever touch a ball, and Anthony Davis, who's a top 5 basketball player in the league today. So Sean, Rondo has had great teams. Drew Holiday has never had that same caliber of teammates as Ray John
So
Rondo.
you're saying this is the year for them to win the finals?
I never said that.
All
I'm
right.
saying it's a great possibility, just like it was the last
How?
2 seasons.
How?
It's a great
When you have the Nets out here, when you got
How?
Philly trying to make him, if Philly make a move for James Harden, what is Giannis' chances? Are they slimmer or are they greater?
It's most definitely slimmer, but we
All
can't
right.
say that
Okay.
yet because James Harden isn't in Philly.
Okay.
James Harden not in Philly
I knew
yet,
that.
so we can't talk about that yet. We don't know how good Brooklyn is going to be. They're coming off of being an 8th seed off of last season. We don't know how great they're going to mesh. Kyrie is a different player. You can talk the talk without playing with him and say, oh, he's a great teammate. I can play good with him because he is a great player, but he's a different player to play with when you actually step foot on that court.
So
son.
let me tell you this: Drew Holiday can check Kyrie Irving. Is that what you're saying?
Drew Holiday has great defense. Nobody
Can
check
he?
Kyrie.
Nobody never said he didn't have a good defense. Can he check Kyrie Irving?
I don't know, son. I don't pay attention to them when they play.
Oh my God!
I don't pay attention to them when they play.
You
I'm
serious?
dead serious.
Oh,
I'm dead
God.
serious. And I'm ready. I'm ready to move on to the next topic. See, that's why we need Nicole here, because Sean say foolishness and Nicole would have cut him off and chopped right into him. So that's why we need a Nicole here today. But I want to dive into some football. Can we dive into some football?
Yep.
It's some great things going on, some great games coming up in week 15. You know, everybody's excited. They got a few Saturday games coming up. My Packers are playing this Saturday today. They're playing today. I can't wait to see what Aaron Rodgers is getting ready to do today. But I wanted to talk about football because I wanted to know, what do you think, Sean, is going to be the best upcoming game in week 15?
The best upcoming game in week 15 is definitely going to be the Eagles versus the Cardinals.
Oh,
I feel like that game is going to be the nail in the coffin when it comes to Carson Wentz and him being benched for the rest of the season, because we definitely know what Jalen Hurts did last week when you totally just overlooked him when I was telling you how great the kid is. And he also ran for 100 yards himself. Not only that, he threw for 100 yards over a team that was the best defensive team in the league. Am I wrong or right? So with the fact that he was able to do that in that game with that magnitude is huge. Not only that, he's coming in the game and they won a game where they are the first team in about 5 years where they've rushed for over 100 yards. There hasn't been a 100-yard rusher against the Saints in over 5 years. So I don't understand how that game wasn't as big as people may think it was, because I feel like, in my opinion, that's probably the biggest game that Carson Wentz has had. Jalen Hurts has had all season, and that's bigger than any 3 dubs that Carson Wentz has won all season, which were 2 division games and 1 game to the San Francisco 49ers. Really?
Sean, I think you just waiting for the day that I'll just walk off the show. Because you say some of the most foolish, disrespectful stuff that I've ever heard in my life. Listen, let me dive into this because I'm ready for it.
Come on.
One, before I dive into this topic, don't disrespect Carson Wentz like that. Jalen Hurts is a great player. I love him. But give Carson Wentz a chance, Sean.
Another chance. Another chance.
Throwing
week,
dirt on
it's week 14. He hasn't had 13 chances?
It is. He
okay.
had it.
Okay. All right.
Let me dive into this.
Let's make
I don't
clear.
think that's the best game. I think that was foolery. And I think you picked that to just go against the best game this season. Oh, God, I couldn't wait to dive into it because we got the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes, and my boy Drew Brees is returning this week. Sean, I can't wait to see it. I know Drew Brees ain't going to disappoint me. He coming off a hip injury, Sean. Coming off a hip injury. I can't wait to see what my guy going to do. I know he going to prove the doubters wrong. He going to prove you wrong because you hate on Drew Brees every chance you get. You like him until I start talking about him. That's your thing. That's your problem.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I love him. But I can't wait to see what Drew Brees and Pat Mahomes have in store for us. I believe they play at 4:15, and I know the game is in New Orleans, so it's an away game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, Sean, I think this might be an upset.
No.
I think the Kansas City, can I finish? I let you talk. Can I finish? You talked about Carson Wentz.
I don't think
you
you
talked about the
understand
Philadelphia
what an
Eagles.
upset is. An upset is where a team is favored to win against another team, a lesser team. And so with that being said, with this team being the number 1 team tied in the conference, in their conference, I mean, I don't understand how that's an upset. I mean, it's just the fact that Drew Brees is just coming back from a rib injury. I mean, other than that, I don't see it as an upset. They are I just said they were just number 1 in defense, so, and they are tied for the best team in the conference. So I don't understand the upset.
I don't mean to put your business out here, but you do go to the casino and bet every now and then, don't you, Sean? You go to the casino and bet every now. So when you go to the casino and you go down there and bet, it shows who favors, right? When you go to the casino and it shows who favors. If you look at the money line, Sean, I know you know something about the money line. If you look at the money line favors the Kansas City Chiefs, Sean. So that means that the Saints is the lesser team. That means if the Saints beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it's an upset, Sean. It's an upset. And everybody in the world believe that the Kansas City Chiefs isn't going to lose another game this season. They're already 12-1. Yeah, the Saints are tied at 10-3 in the NFC. I get that. Drew Brees is coming back, but that's why it's an upset. He's coming back. This is his first week back. They are the lesser team. Not only are they the lesser team in record, but they're the lesser team because their starting quarterback is just coming back.
And what record?
It's 12-1 against 10-3. Okay. They're the lesser team in football, Sean.
Yeah, but they're tied with the first team in the conference. They're tied for first.
It doesn't
with
matter.
Green Bay.
It does not
so
matter.
What makes that an upset? And not only that, I may know a little bit about casino, but not a lot. But I do know this thing called spreads, right? and the spread says that Kansas City is only favored by 3 points in an away game. So that's not, even if Kansas City do lose this game, it's not an upset. An upset is what we've seen with Seattle Seahawks versus the New York Giants, when they were favored by 13.5 points and they lost the game by 5, 12-17. Go on.
It's still an upset because Kansas City is still favored, Sean. It's not a big upset. It's not that, I'm not saying that the Saints are the underdog. I'm just saying that the Saints win this game, it's an upset, Sean.
It's not an upset if they are a great team. No. They are statistically.
Who's better, Sean? Who's better statistically, and who's just a better overall team? Who's better?
Okay, so you comparing matchups, right? You comparing matchups. I'm
just saying, who's better?
They're even. They're even. Travis Kelce, you got Mike Thomas, you got Kamara, you got Tyreek Hill. So I mean, they kind of got and then you got a historic quarterback in Drew Brees.
You gonna sit on triple double today?
Yes.
We're gonna literally sit on triple double.
And say what?
And just so you can make your case, you just don't like losing an argument. You're gonna just say anything that you have to say to make your case. They're not favored to win this game, which means if they win the game, Sean, that
It's just
they
a loss.
upset. No,
It's just a
they
loss.
upset it.
It's just a loss.
Listen, the Kansas City Chiefs went in favored over every team this year, period. Just going into the season. Everybody had them winning the Super Bowl. Everybody, including you. You know, I will go back into the casino spiel, but I ain't trying to put your business out there once again.
Thank you.
But you know what I'm saying? I know what you put your money on, son, and you put your money on your boy, my homeboy. That's your guy, you know, and you love that guy. So I already know if they win this game, it's an upset to me. I'm not saying that that they're the underdog. I'm not saying that it's a huge upset. I'm just saying if they win this game, in my eyes, it's considered an upset. I didn't have.
Well, you gotta
Kansas
be
City.
blind.
Oh.
You gotta be blind.
So
What
you telling me
Yeah.
is you think you have some type of feeling in your heart that the Saints have a possibility of being your boy.
Absolutely.
I know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That
It's
rests my case.
The fact is, and that's what it comes down to. When it's a possibility, how is it an upset? When you look at the Seattle Seahawks versus the New York Bottom Giants at that time, well, they had great defense, but they was about third in their division at the time. And so the fact is, when you look at that and they're favored by 13.5 points, that's no way, and that's like a no doubt in your mind that Russell Wilson was going to lose that game. So you mean to tell me when you looked at the schedule before that game, did you count that as a win or a loss?
Listen, man. That's
Did
all
you
I-
count that as a win or a loss?
Listen, man. Look.
Now you
it
got me
doesn't-
about to raise my voice.
it
So which
doesn't-
one you want? What you want?
Listen, the case still stands. I feel like if the Saints win, it's an upset. It doesn't matter, man. I feel like it's an upset.
So
But-
was it an upset with Seattle versus the Giants? Was that an upset?
That's an upset.
So that's an upset, right?
It's an upset.
Okay,
It's
so
a huge
a game that was favored by 13, where a team was favored by 13.5 points, you consider that an upset. But a team that's only favored by 3 points to win a game, and if the opposite team wins the game when they're at home and they're favored to lose by 3, that's not an upset.
It has nothing to do with me.
Is that an upset? Yes or no? Is that an upset?
Pat Mahomes is in the MVP race. Drew Brees isn't. Next topic. We gotta move today because they ready for the next topic. We gonna stay football for a minute. Sean, I already know who your pick is. This NFL season has been great. It's been historic. Some great things has happened. You know, coaching issues and quarterback issues, teams, all these great things, new signings, contracts, all this stuff. I have to know with this great NFL season. Who's your MVP pick this year? Because you got Pat Mahomes, who's playing great. I know I just threw him under the bus a little bit, but that's still my guy. Much love
No,
here.
really your guy.
You got Aaron Rodgers. You know, I love that guy right there over there doing his thing in Green Bay. You got Russell Wilson, who did just get upset last week, but he's having a spectacular year. He was the front runner for the MVP for a long time this season. I have to know, Sean. I have to know, who is your MVP candidate this year?
I don't even know why we're even getting into this topic. It's Patrick Mahomes. By far.
Okay.
By far. A guy who is leading the lead in yards, 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, which is third in the league, and only 5 interceptions. Second in QBR at 84. So I feel like he also had the bigger matchups when it comes to a lot of these guys, and he was able to pull through a lot of these great matchups. So when it comes to MVP, it's about a person who gets his team together the perfect way to win them the ball game. And so I feel like Patrick Mahomes is by far the league winning MVP.
You finished?
Yep.
Okay, can I go?
Yeah.
It's my turn. You sure?
Go ahead.
All right. Listen, man, this is what I have to say. I like Pat Mahomes. I do feel like he's a great MVP candidate. I mean, he might be an MVP candidate for the next 7 years. Automatically 7 years, the next 7 years of his career, I think he's going to be one of the front runners. He's a great player. He's not injury prone. We don't speak that on his career, but you have to go Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is in the league with 39 touchdowns. He's 1 touchdown away from 40. You know what I'm saying? He only has 4 interceptions to Pat Mahomes 5.
Okay.
He does only have 3,600 yards, almost 3,700. He's close. You know, they're 10-3. They're number one in the NFC as well. Yeah, we can argue that that's the lesser conference. I get it. You know, he had a slight easier schedule than Pat Mahomes. I get it. Okay, it was easier. John, it was easier. You know what I'm saying? Can I make my case, please? But I like Aaron Rodgers only because he has more touchdowns than Pat Mahomes have, and touchdowns is what win games. The reason we play sports, Sean, is to score. It doesn't matter about the yards. He can have the yards. He can have the statistics. But he's only winning in one statistic, and that's yards. Yards don't get touchdowns.
So,
yards don't put points on the board.
Okay, so what about competition?
Oh, my God.
How many title contenders did he play? Let's look at this list, shall we? Detroit, no. Philly, no. Chicago, no. Lost to Indiana. Jacksonville, no. San Francisco, no. Minnesota, he lost, no. Houston, no. Tampa, won. Let's keep going. Atlanta, no. And New Orleans, yes. Detroit, no. And Vikings, no. Only two real competitors, two real title contenders that he played against. Let me go back through Patrick Mahomes for you for the last weeks.
Go ahead and waste your breath.
Here we go right here. Tampa Bay. I'm gonna just go straight because they got 12 wins on the year. I'm not even about to go through losses and all that stuff. So I'm gonna just call out the teams. Tampa Bay, where they won 27-24. Buffalo, is that not a title contender? Okay, all right. Buffalo. We also have Baltimore. Is that not also a title contender? Okay, so when it comes to schedule, who had to endure the most to be able to get to where they are? And not only that, only one loss on the season. One loss on the season. One. While Aaron Rodgers has lost to Kirk Cousins.
Oh, my God.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, my God.
Let's please just emphasize that. You want to emphasize Aaron Rodgers. Please emphasize the loss that he had to Kirk Cousins. Please.
I don't want to emphasize because I don't want to take up too much time.
Oh, no. Take all the time you need. I don't need no talk time.
I don't want to take up too much time talking about foolishness. But, Sean, can I just stick this over your head? It's not my fault. I'm not in the front office making these team schedules. It's not my fault. Aaron Rodgers' competition was that easy. You know what I'm saying? They know he's an MVP candidate every year.
His competition is that easy, yet he lost 3 games.
I mean, Sean, listen.
While Patrick Mahomes has lost one.
Everybody has some bad games, Sean. Okay. It's not always easy like that, man. Everybody has some bad games.
But he's in an easy division, not division, but a conference, correct?
Most definitely. He's in the easier conference.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So he should pretty much be undefeated, though, right? Right? You wouldn't say that. Oh my, come on, man! You gotta have more words than that, Steve.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he should be undefeated. You know, it's hard to do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't just go undefeated. Not in football. It's hard. It's tough.
So with the same record, if Mahomes was to be in Green Bay with this same schedule, you mean to tell me Patrick Mahomes would have lost against Indiana, Coach?
Yes, most definitely. 10-3.
You're serious. You're not serious. You're not serious. I'm gonna keep going.
So hold on. Let's make it even. Is Pat Mahomes playing with the same roster as Aaron Rodgers?
Absolutely.
10-3.
Absolutely.
No, I give him 11-2.
11-2. He's not losing against Indiana. He's not losing against the sorry Vikings. Younger. And he's also not losing again against Tom Brady.
Oh, thank you for saying that on the air.
I love Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna be honest. That's my guy.
Listen, man, Pat's a great player. I got him at a strong 1B.
So you would have him. So, and I got to go back to the question. So you would have him losing. You would have his schedule 11-2. So you're saying he would still lose to Tom Brady?
Most definitely. Tom and him was just on that night.
And he just beat Tom Brady?
Yeah, with a better roster. The Chiefs are a better roster than the Packers.
Yards.
He has a better roster than Aaron Rodgers.
How?
It's slightly better. I give you that. Okay, thank you. It's just slight better. Coaching better a little bit.
What about defense? Do the Kansas City Chiefs have better defense than Green Bay?
They don't.
All right.
But the offense has better weapons. So
Aaron Rodgers
we can't make the case for defense in this topic because we're talking QB. Their only task is to run the offense. Quarterbacks aren't out there on defense, Sean. Are they not?
Patrick Mahomes is winning that ball.
Are they not?
Patrick Mahomes is winning.
I'm saying I like him, but if I was to choose, my vote would go towards Aaron Rodgers because he got 39 touchdowns on his way to 40. You know what I'm saying? But he's behind him in yards, but he has lesser interceptions. He has 4 to his 5. That means if you're throwing an interception, your QBR goes down. All of those things, your rating goes down. Then if you look at the red zone, they're 20th in the red zone. That has something to do with Pat Mahomes. But I know
they're 20th. Hey, here. Listen to how great Patrick Mahomes is. They're 20th in the red zone, and they're 12-1.
Thank you, Sean.
Think about that.
That's good.
Think about that.
Hey, but guess what?
And where is Aaron Rodgers?
He's number 1, and he's at
number
10-3.
and he's 10-3.
It doesn't matter. He's still number 1.
10-3. Really? You're number 1 in the red zone, and you lost to Kirk Cousins, and
here,
you're
Sean.
10-3.
I'm calling it here,
Okay.
Sean.
Okay.
We'll see them in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Stop it.
Thank you very much. We got to move on to the next topic. We got to go back. NBA basketball, man. I know y'all excited about this upcoming season. The preseason games has been great. I ain't no Steph Curry fan, like some people, but Steph Curry has been looking good in the preseason. My boy KD back. I like KD, how he looking off injury. We don't know how good he's going to be yet, Sean, so hold off on that statement. But I do like what's getting ready to come. So I got to ask you, Sean, what games are you looking forward to on Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, I'm looking at the schedule. You have Pelicans versus the Heat, and you also have Bucks versus Warriors, and I think I'm gonna roll with the Bucks versus the Warriors as the team to watch on Christmas Day. I'm not necessarily interested in the Nets and Boston. I mean, it's gonna be a Kyrie show because he's going against his rival team. Luka, he's gonna have a good game, but I don't see it as the game to watch. And not only that, the Clippers versus the Nuggets, I'm not that intrigued. But when it comes to the Bucks versus Stephen Curry, I'm very interested in that matchup.
What?
I'm ready to see what Steph Curry has to bring. You talk about him in this preseason, him dropping these 30 points and all this other stuff. So I'm ready to see what this guy's gonna bring to the table now that he carries his team.
Every topic, I feel like your intelligence level goes lower and lower. You just said the Milwaukee Bucks as a team. Basketball is a team game, am I correct, Sean?
Yes.
Okay. You just said the Milwaukee Bucks as a team aren't that impressive. We all know that Golden State ain't the Golden State of yesteryear. We know that their roster without Clay is not that impressive yet. You get what I'm saying? So because they don't have Clay, it's not that impressive. That game is not more exciting than the Clippers versus the Nuggets. The Clippers are at the Nuggets. They're in Denver going against Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, the same duo that knocked them out in the playoffs. They had them 3-1, and Jokic and Jamal Murray came back. Sean, are you serious?
The thing is,
how aren't you looking forward to that game? I want to see what the Clippers are going to do to respond to see. I know they got a new coach. They no longer had Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the blame was on him because he blew 3-1 leads in previous years. So we want to see. The world wants to see, and I know the world going to agree with me on this. Just comment in the section below and say, Steve won this topic already because Sean is saying foolishness. Listen, man, the Clippers and the Nuggets are the better game, Sean.
Clippers and the Nuggets are not a better game, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. We've seen this story already.
Oh.
We've seen it already. We've seen them in the playoffs. We've seen what they've done, what they're capable of. You know, they were the better team. Yes, they lost 3-1. The story's over. Now it's time to move on to better competition, more teams, and it's more than just the Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers and the new coach and Tyronn Lue. No, it's about Steph Curry and what he's going to do with these new pieces. No Clay is involved in this lineup. You got the Bucks here with Giannis and Drew Holiday and these boys. So I feel like this is going to be a better team to be able to sit and watch. You know, it's at 2:30 for a reason.
Sean.
Yes.
Shanti.
Yes.
Listen, man. I just said that same roster. I wish Nicole was here to vouch for me today. I just said that same roster, and you wanted to smack me upside my head. Come on, man. I just was naming all the pieces Milwaukee had, and you wanted to swing across this table. Sean, can I break something down to you? The reason this game is more interesting than the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors is only because they have history. And the history that they have is very big because if we go back to the last season, right, the Clippers were favored, just like the Lakers were. Everybody was saying it was going to be the Clippers versus the Lakers, LA versus LA, big brother versus little brother, right? Everybody was looking for this. And the Denver Nuggets did not let this happen. And the last time we seen this, we were dogging the Clippers for giving up a 3-1 lead.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Huh?
Who wins this game?
Oh, I got the Clippers.
So you got the Clippers winning this game.
I got the Clippers.
So if the Clippers win this game, what story does that tell? Going back, just since you want to bring up the postseason,
What story is
what the postseason and the playoffs? What does that have to do with anything?
What story it tells
Yes,
us?
what story does it tell? We've already seen it before.
No, we didn't see the
so
story.
even if the Clippers do win this game, when it comes to postseason, you still don't know who they are. So even if they win this game, it still doesn't tell us a better story than it would with Steph Curry with no Klay
What story
Thompson.
does that tell? That's his,
With no Klay Thompson. Okay, so who has the better team? The Bucks or Steph Curry and the Warriors?
the Bucks.
The Bucks have the better
Yes,
team.
yes.
So, and that's why this story is going to be even better.
no.
Golden State Warriors was the 15th seed last year.
No.
15th.
Because
and
of
then
injuries.
and then the Bucks were number 1
Because
and
of
so,
injuries.
You're
Sean,
right,
they
you're
have
right.
no history.
You're
This
right.
is cross-rival
You're
and
right.
cross-conferences. Sean, this doesn't
So
make
if
sense.
Stephen Curry can pull this off with no chemistry at all, what does that say?
It'll be a
What
great
does that say?
upset. It'll be a great game. I mean, you know,
All right.
it's not no
That-
story.
that's the whole
This has
point.
a story already. That has no chapter to it. That has even no book. This is no history. Golden State versus LeBron. If this was the Golden State Warriors versus LeBron and the Lakers, that has history because Steph Curry and LeBron has history. Steph Curry and Giannis has no history, but Kawhi and Jamal Murray, Jokic and Paul George, they have history. So if the Clippers come and beat them, it shows that they're about business, that they might be better this year, that they might be ready, and their focus is on. I heard stories about them two missing practices, them two not being as serious, and I know it's just a season game and it's just the beginning.
So
but
if that's
it adds to the story that once was, Sean. It adds to the story,
There's
man.
no history, it's no beef, no nothing. It's just a team that was upset by a 3-1 loss. And so that's the only thing that you can pretty much say about that. It's not no type of hidden beef or nothing like that.
Well-
But when it comes to Stephen Curry and going against the Bucks, I feel like it's going to be great, and it's a reason why that's on at 2:30 instead of 10:30 or what is that 11:30 for the Clippers. I mean, it's a reason why that's on last. I mean, it's going to be cool, but at the end of the day, we've seen what happened. So, I mean, the better team won. They won a 3-1 lead when they also won a 3-1 lead in the first round. So I believe that.
Should I bring up the casino again? Because I could have sworn you put your money on the Clippers. Listen though, I like your pick, Sean. I love your pick. You know, it's good. It's great. But that just gives me leeway I just have to ask because you're saying such a foolish statement. You know, you sound just like a fool today. I have to ask you, what's your input on the best game on opening day? Who are you looking forward to watching that day?
No doubt, Kevin Durant. It's just nothing else to be said. Kevin Durant. You know, they're going against the Warriors. Once again, no Klay Thompson. This is KD on a team. They said they did it without him. We don't need you. You're B, this, that, and the third. You know, this is Steph's team and so forth. So I feel like with KD, this is going to be a big game where he's going to drop 30 points. You know, and it's going to be effortless. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the better game.
Sean, you know, sometimes, man, you disappoint me. You disappoint me, and I'm gonna go into it, go into my reason. Man, you're so biased, man. Why is that, Sean?
How?
Why are you so biased? You know, you were just giving Steph Curry all of these praises.
Absolutely.
Oh, Steph Curry against the Bucks, blah, 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 blah. We move on one topic later, and you already forgot what you just said the last topic.
Kevin
Now
Durant
you-
is the story for this topic.
I like that, though. I like that pick. I'm not going to argue. But
All
of
right,
course,
then. So if you ain't gonna
of
argue,
course,
so what's up?
No. I am going.
So you are gonna argue.
So I am going
Pick
to
a
argue.
side.
I'm sorry, I
Please
shouldn't have
pick a
made that
side.
statement.
Okay.
It's a great choice though, but it's nothing. It's only two choices. You can either go Golden State in versus the Nets, or you got to go the Lakers versus the Clippers. The reason I like the Lakers versus the Clippers, and I love that story. I can't wait to see what KD is getting ready to do against his ex-team. Great story to tell. But the Lakers versus the Clippers, We didn't get to see it in the playoffs last year. You know, it's still the big brother, little brother thing. Kawhi and Paul George had to hear this on that small break that they had. I'm just ready to see what they gonna do. Do you ever, and you a guy of underdog. You a guy of willpower. You a guy who likes to see people fight to the end. You like Jimmy Butler. That's why you was rooting for him last year. You know what I'm saying? You like Jimmy. He kept fighting. He didn't care who his opponent was. They was never favored to go to the NBA Finals, but they did. You like willpower. I want to see if Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverly in the game. You know, Lou Will, Sweet Will. You like Sweet Lou. I know you like Sweet Lou. He got a nice little game a little bit. I know you want to see what these guys going to do this year to respond to all of the catastrophe, to respond to all of the downplay and everything everybody had to say about them last season. I know you want to see what they're getting ready to do.
I do, and I don't doubt that at all. I feel like those are two huge games, and that's the reason why those are the only two games playing for that day. And so when it comes to LeBron and Montrez versus, ex-teammates Kawhi Leonard, I really feel like it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be nail-biting, I believe. It's going to go down to the very end. But more importantly, when it comes to the better game of that day, it's going to be Kevin Durant.
I won't necessarily say that because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have to look across the court and literally watch LeBron and Anthony Davis put those rings on that a lot of people said that was going to be Kawhi and Paul George. I think that game is going to be very competitive. I like KD coming back. I can't wait to see him. KD, before injury, was one of my favorite players. I love Kevin Durant. I'll never downplay that. I like the story.
So
like
who wins
Steph.
that game?
Who wins the Kevin Durant? And
yes.
I got KD because Steph ain't got nobody, and Steph ain't going to do as good as everybody think he is this year. Off camera, I might say something else, but don't tell him what I said off camera before the show. But I like Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I like KD. I like Kyrie. I can't wait to see what they're going to do. I can't wait to see if they're going to mesh together. You know, I also like your boy LeVert. All of a sudden, you a big LeVert fan. I don't know where that came from.
I got to be a LeVert fan.
I know you got to be. So now you got to brag on him. And so now you're going to be biased. Now world, y'all see he biased for no reason.
Biased.
You know, so if KD wasn't with LeVert and I mentioned LeVert, he would have dogged LeVert. But that's another story.
It depends on what the topic is. I wouldn't have just
another
dogged
story
him.
for another day. He proved my point.
Man.
But I like that game. I got Brooklyn. Who you got for the LA and the Clippers game?
LA and Clippers game. I'm actually gonna go with LeBron James this game. I feel like it's gonna be a great big game for him. Does he has anything to prove? No, because he's putting on a ring the same night. So there's nothing else to be proven for LeBron James. He's already on the Mount Rushmore. I won't disrespect him on that. But when it comes to this game on this topic, I would definitely say the Lakers are definitely gonna win this game.
I got the Lakers.
It's not gonna be. I just feel like they just have more depth than the Clippers. Clippers still is missing a point guard. You know, even throughout this offseason, they still missed a point guard. So, but they do have a new addition piece that I do like in Luke Kennard. So we're gonna see where this leads. No J. Michael Green. So we're gonna see what some of these what's going to happen.
Just for the fans, before we go today, before we wrap it up, can I have just one NBA prediction? Who you got going to the NBA Finals? I know this just the test run right here. I just want to hear from this point forward, who do you think gonna go to the NBA Finals?
Nets. Just say Nets.
You gonna whisper it to the crowd, man? Let the crowd hear what you gonna say, man.
Nets.
You gonna whisper it to the crowd, man. Whisper
Nets,
it to the crowd.
I already know it.
Man, okay, man. The Nets, man. I got the. So you got them winning. Who do you have them as? Who's their rival that year? I mean, and in the finals.
In the finals, who is their rival? It's going to be the Nets versus.
You're disrespectful for you to even have to think, man. Man, you know,
it's gonna be LeBron James.
Thank you. I was just gonna leave it there, and we'll just tune in next week when Nicole get back, so she can control the foolery. Sean say, but man, we thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. Hey, y'all do me a favor, go like, go subscribe, go comment, go share, man. Love y'all.
Yeah.